Famous NBA players who are gay. What if the NBA's most guarded secret isn't about performance, scandals, or contracts, but about something every single player in that locker room already knows, and nobody is allowed to say out loud? Across 13 seasons, one man carried a truth so heavy it cost him sleep every night. Another spent 294 days in a Russian prison. One attempted suicide before finding the courage to speak. A Swiss player lived as two completely different human beings. Same body, different soul, for nearly a decade. These are not rumors. These are documented, verified, real lives. Tonight, Hidden Celebrity Stories takes you inside the stories professional basketball hoped you'd never connect. 15 athletes. 15 silences broken. Subscribe now. Comment who surprised you most, because the most powerful moment in this video hasn't happened yet. Keep watching. Jason Collins. April 29th, 2013. 3 words rewired professional sports forever. I am gay. Jason Collins published them in a first-person Sports Illustrated essay, becoming the first active male athlete across all 4 major North American professional leagues, the NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL, to publicly disclose his sexual orientation. President Barack Obama called within hours. Bill Clinton called. Time magazine placed him on its 100 most influential people list that same year. Born December 2, 1978, in Northridge, California, Collins was drafted 18th overall by Houston in the 2001 NBA draft before an immediate trade to the New Jersey Nets. He built a 13-season career across 7 franchises: New Jersey, Memphis, Minnesota, Atlanta, Boston, Washington, and Brooklyn, playing 970 regular season games while averaging 3.6 points and 3.7 rebounds. Those numbers don't tell the story. Coaches valued him for suffocating defensive positioning, bone-crushing screens, and the kind of selfless work that wins championships without appearing in stat sheets. He reached back-to-back NBA Finals with New Jersey in 2002 and 2003. In February 2014, signing with Brooklyn made him the first openly gay athlete to compete in an NBA regular season game. He wore number 98, a quiet tribute to Matthew Shepard, murdered in a 1998 hate crime. After retiring in November 2014, Collins dedicated himself to LGBTQ plus advocacy. Then, in late 2025, he disclosed a stage 4 glioblastoma diagnosis, one of the most lethal brain cancers known to medicine. His reaction: "We aren't going to sit back and let this cancer kill me without giving it a hell of a fight." 12 years later, Collins remains the only NBA player to ever come out while still active. That fact is a mirror the league has yet to fully face. Brittney Griner. Some athletes redefine the ceiling of what a sport permits. Brittney Griner demolished the ceiling entirely and built a new one nobody else could touch. Born October 18, 1990, in Houston, Texas, Griner arrived at Baylor University with physical dimensions the women's game had never encountered. Standing 6 feet 9 inches with a wingspan matching her height, she combined interior dominance with uncommon agility. She graduated from Baylor with 3,283 career points and 748 blocks, still the NCAA record. Her 2012 senior season ended with a perfect 40-0 national championship, making her the first player in NCAA history to simultaneously accumulate 2,000 points and 500 blocks. The Phoenix Mercury took her first overall in the 2013 WNBA draft. She became one of the first women in league history to dunk during regulation play, twice in a single debut game. Over 11 seasons in Phoenix, she averaged over 17 points per game while shooting above 50% from the field, won the WNBA championship in 2014, claimed Defensive Player of the Year in 2014 and 2015, and set the single-season block record at 129 in 2014. She led the league in blocks for 8 consecutive seasons. She disclosed her sexuality early in her professional career, later marrying Sherelle Watson in June 2019. February 2022 changed everything. While playing overseas in Russia's Premier League, a financial necessity most WNBA players face, she was detained at Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport carrying vape cartridges containing cannabis oil. Sentenced to 9 years in a Russian penal colony, she endured 294 days before being released December 8, 2022, in exchange for Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout. She returned in 2023, earning her 8th All-Star selection. After 1 season with Atlanta, she signed with the Connecticut Sun ahead of the 2026 campaign, adding a 3-time Olympic gold medalist to their roster. Diana Taurasi. 20 seasons, 10,646 career points, 6 Olympic gold medals, 1 retirement, announced February 2025, that closed the most extraordinary individual career women's basketball has produced. Born June 11, 1982, in Glendale, California, Diana Taurasi grew up with Argentine roots and Italian heritage from a father who played professional soccer. Her competitive instincts emerged at Chino Hills before she enrolled at the University of Connecticut, where under coach Gino Auriemma, she orchestrated 3 consecutive NCAA championships from 2002 to 2004, capturing the Naismith Award as National Player of the Year in both her sophomore and junior seasons. The Phoenix Mercury selected her first overall in the 2004 WNBA draft. What followed was unprecedented in the history of the sport. 3 WNBA championships, 2007, 2009, 2014. 1 league MVP, in 2009. 5 scoring titles, including a single-season record of 25.3 points per game in 2006. 14 All-WNBA selections, the most by any player in league history. On August 3, 2023, she became the first WNBA player to score 10,000 career points, finishing her career with 10,646, nearly 3,000 ahead of any other player ever. Internationally, Taurasi won 6 consecutive Olympic gold medals with Team USA from 2004 through the 2024 Paris Games, the most Olympic gold medals earned by any basketball player in history, regardless of gender. In Paris, her gold came via a 67-66 thriller against France. She married former Phoenix Mercury teammate Penny Taylor in 2017. Their relationship was never announced dramatically. It simply was, the way everything about Taurasi operated, on her terms, without apology. The greatest to ever play. Voted so by WNBA fans in 2021. Confirmed by the record books forever. Sue Bird. Some players score. Some rebound. Sue Bird did something rarer and arguably harder. She made every team she touched smarter, faster, and more dangerous than they were before she arrived. Born October 16, 1980, in Syosset, New York, Bird played college basketball at UConn alongside a young Diana Taurasi, capturing consecutive NCAA championships in 2001 and 2002. The Seattle Storm selected her first overall in the 2002 WNBA draft. She remained in Seattle for her entire 21-year career, loyalty so rare in professional sport it borders on mythology. The statistics tell a definitive story. 4 WNBA championships spanning 2004, 2010, 2018, and 2020, making her the only player in league history to win titles across 3 separate decades. 13 All-Star selections, also an all-time record. 5 Olympic gold medals with Team USA, more than 3,234 career assists, the all-time WNBA record accumulated across 19 playing seasons, alongside the league records for career games played and career minutes. In 2017, Bird confirmed her relationship with soccer star Megan Rapinoe simultaneously with publicly coming out, doing both with the composed directness that characterized her entire game. The couple became the most recognizable LGBTQ+ partnership in American professional sport for nearly 10 years before announcing their separation via joint statement in April 2026, after a decade together. Bird retired following the 2022 season. The Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame inducted her in 2025, her first year of eligibility. She currently serves as Managing Director of the U.S. Women's National Basketball Team and holds a minority ownership stake in the Seattle Storm, still shaping the game from a different sideline. Breanna Stewart. No player in NCAA history, male or female, has ever won 4 consecutive Final Four Most Outstanding Player awards. Breanna Stewart did it before turning 22. Born August 27, 1994, in Syracuse, New York, Stewart dominated college basketball with a completeness that felt almost unfair. At the University of Connecticut from 2012 to 2016, she guided the Huskies to 4 straight national championships, averaging over 19 points and 8 rebounds per game across that span. The consistency was startling. The trophies were inevitable. The Seattle Storm drafted her first overall in 2016. She won Rookie of the Year, then in 2018 delivered one of the most dominant playoff performances in WNBA history: 21.8 points, 8.4 rebounds, 3.4 assists, while capturing the Finals MVP and her first championship. She repeated in 2020 after battling back from an Achilles rupture suffered in April 2019, a recovery that required surgical reconstruction and a full season of rehabilitation. Many careers never recover from an Achilles injury at that severity. Stewart returned better. In 2023, she joined the New York Liberty, winning the league MVP with 23.0 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game. The following year, she anchored the Liberty's first-ever WNBA championship. In 2025, a right knee bone bruise limited her to 31 appearances, but she still averaged 18.3 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. Proof that even injured, she plays at a level most can't reach healthy. She is married to former Spanish international player Marta Zargay, and they have children together. Her personal life, like her professional one, requires no press releases. It simply exists, grounded and unambiguous. Elena delle Donne. The stat alone is extraordinary. A career free throw percentage of 93.7%, the highest in WNBA history. But that number, as remarkable as it is, barely scratches the surface of what Elena Del Donne meant to professional women's basketball. Born September 5, 1989, in Wilmington, Delaware, Del Donne's path to greatness was unconventional. She briefly enrolled at UConn before departing, a controversial decision at the time, before establishing herself at the University of Delaware, where she averaged 26.7 points per game across her college career and became the Colonial Athletic Association's all-time leading scorer before her senior season ended. The Chicago Sky selected her second overall in the 2013 WNBA draft. She won Rookie of the Year immediately, then the MVP award in 2015, the first of two she would earn. After moving to Washington, she became the first player in WNBA history to shoot 50% from the field, 40% from three-point range, and 90% from the free throw line in a single season, achieving what basketball analysts call the 50-40-90 club. She won her second MVP and led Washington to the franchise's first-ever championship in 2019, doing so while playing through 3 bulging discs in her back. An independent medical panel later determined she should not have competed at all. Chronic Lyme disease and multiple back surgeries steadily reduced her availability throughout her final seasons. She officially retired in April 2025 after stepping away during the 2024 season. In 2026, the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame announced her as a member of its incoming class. She married Amanda Norton in 2017, and together they have a son born via surrogacy in 2023. Her openness about their relationship, her illness, and her retirement shaped a legacy defined equally by courage off the court as excellence on it. John Amaechi. The year was 2007. The NBA had no openly gay players, active or retired. Then John Amaechi walked through a door nobody else had touched, and everything that came after became slightly more possible because of it. Born November 26, 1970, in Boston and raised in Stockport, England, Amaechi discovered basketball at 17. By any conventional measure, his path to the NBA was improbable. Undrafted in 1995, he signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers after impressing in workouts, later finding more consistent footing with the Orlando Magic and Utah Jazz, teams where he averaged 6.2 points and 2.6 rebounds per game across 5 professional seasons. He once declined a reported $17 million contract offer from the Los Angeles Lakers to remain in Orlando, a decision rooted in priorities no amount of money could rearrange. He retired in 2003. Since in February 2007, his memoir Man in the Middle was published, making him the first former NBA player to publicly disclose being gay. The response included nuance, support, and open hostility. Former All-Star Tim Hardaway declaring, "I hate gay people," on live radio, to which Amaechi responded with razor-sharp composure. It is honest, and it illustrates the problem better than any fuzzy language. After basketball, Amaechi completed a doctorate in psychology, founded his consultancy, Amaechi Performance Systems, authored multiple best-selling books on leadership and human behavior, and received the Order of the British Empire in 2021. He remains among the sharpest analytical voices on diversity, organizational psychology, and the sociology of professional sport. As of 2025, Collins and Amaechi remain the only 2 NBA players to have ever publicly come out. 2 names across the entire history of the league. Layshia Clarendon. Position: point guard. Height: 5 feet 9 inches. Seasons played: 12. Gender identity: non-binary and transgender. Impact: impossible to reduce to a box score. On May 2, 1991 in San Bernardino, California, Clarendon forged their collegiate reputation at UC Berkeley, where as a senior they averaged over 16 points per game and led the Golden Bears to their first NCAA Final Four appearance in program history in 2013, a result nobody had predicted. The Indiana Fever selected them 9th overall in the 2013 WNBA draft. Over 12 professional seasons across 7 franchises, including the Atlanta Dream, Connecticut Sun, New York Liberty, and Los Angeles Sparks, Clarendon averaged 7.6 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 3.2 assists per game, earned a WNBA All-Star nomination in 2017, and contributed to the United States women's national team's gold medal at the 2018 FIBA World Cup. Those are the athletic credentials. The cultural contribution runs deeper. Clarendon became one of the first active professional athletes in any major American sport to publicly identify as non-binary and transgender. In January 2021, they shared their experience of undergoing top surgery with the specific intention of making visible what professional sports culture had systematically rendered invisible. The response from teammates, the WNBA, and the public was largely supportive. But Clarendon understood that visible representation carries a responsibility that outlasts applause. They kept competing at a high level throughout every public advocacy moment, refusing the false choice between athletic career and authentic identity. Clarendon officially retired following the 2024 season. The space they created for athletes who don't fit existing categories remains open. Isaac Humphries. This story begins not in a stadium, but in a hospital room, in a moment so dark most people never speak of it. Born January 5, 1998, in Caringbah, New South Wales, Isaac Humphries discovered basketball at 12 after years in rugby. Natural dimensions, eventually growing to 7 feet, accelerated a rapid development that earned him a scholarship to the University of Kentucky, one of the most demanding college basketball programs in America. He went undrafted in the 2017 NBA draft, but signed a training camp deal with the Atlanta Hawks and cycled through the G League before returning to Australia's National Basketball League, where he established himself as a legitimate starter, averaging around 12 points, 5.5 rebounds, and leading the NBL in blocks during his time with Melbourne United. The professional statistics masked a private crisis. The years of concealing his sexual orientation inside an intensely masculine team environment had fractured him psychologically. In late 2020, at his lowest point, Humphries attempted to end his own life. He survived, he sought help, he rebuilt. And then, on November 15, 2022, he sat in front of his Melbourne United teammates and said, "I attempted to take my life. The main reason was that I was struggling with my sexuality. That truth is that I am gay." The room gave him a standing ovation. In that moment, Humphries became the first openly gay active male player in any top-tier professional basketball league on earth. The global response, from the NBL, from NBA organizations, from strangers across dozens of countries, was immediate and overwhelming. He has since continued with the Adelaide 36ers. Every day, he receives messages from people telling him he kept them alive. He reads every single one. Derrick Gordon. 2 months after Jason Collins made history in the NBA, a 22-year-old college guard in Massachusetts stepped forward on a different floor, and in doing so, proved the current was moving faster than anyone had dared predict. Born December 12, 1991, in Plainfield, New Jersey, Gordon attended St. Patrick High School in Elizabeth before starting his college career at Western Kentucky, where he led the team in scoring with 11.8 points per game as a freshman and earned third-team All-Sun Belt Conference recognition. He transferred to UMass, where in his junior season he averaged 9.4 points and 3.5 rebounds per game as one of the Minutemen's most dependable contributors. The team qualified for the NCAA tournament that year. On April 9, 2014, Gordon told his head coach Derrick Kellogg first. Then his teammates gathered in a meeting. So then came the public announcement through ESPN and Outsports. He was the first openly gay male athlete competing in Division I men's college basketball. I want other people to look at me and say, that guy plays for a top school. He's one of the top players, and he's openly gay. That's why I came out, to be myself. Collins had signed with Brooklyn just weeks earlier. That visibility gave Gordon something to anchor his own courage to. Collins' response came via Twitter immediately. Another brave young man, making it easier for so many others. Gordon completed his college career at Seton Hall, playing through his senior season with 0 reported incidents of anti-gay harassment during competition, a statement more powerful than any speech. He played professionally in Germany and Cyprus afterward. The NBA never materialized. The historical weight of what he did. Permanent. Jennifer Azzi, 47 years old, standing at a podium in San Francisco, introducing someone else, and then, in the middle of the speech, choosing herself. Born August 31, 1968, in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Jennifer Azzi built one of the most distinguished careers in women's basketball history before a single word of her personal truth became public. At Stanford from 1986 to 1990, she quarterbacked the Cardinal to the 1990 NCAA National Championship, was named Final Four MVP, and captured both the Naismith Award and the Wade Trophy as National Player of the Year. She graduated with a degree in economics. Internationally, she represented Team USA for 13 different national squads, compiling a 114-14 collective record and winning 2 FIBA World Championships before claiming Olympic gold at the 1996 Atlanta Games. When the WNBA launched in 1997, Azzi played for the Detroit Shock, Utah Stars, and San Antonio Silver Stars, accumulating a career three-point percentage of 45.8%, still the all-time WNBA record. The Women's Basketball Hall of Fame inducted her in 2009. Then came coaching. As head coach at the University of San Francisco from 2010 to 2016, she led the Dons to their first NCAA tournament berth since 1997. In April 2016, while introducing Golden State Warriors president Rick Welts at an Anti-Defamation League ceremony, she stepped off the prepared script and said, "I too lived a long time not being 100% honest. There is nothing more powerful than living the truth." She simultaneously revealed her marriage to assistant coach Blair Hardiek. No strategy, no announcement tour, just a decorated champion finally completing the picture. Marco Lehmann. The final story on this list unfolded not in the NBA, not in front of an Olympic crowd, not under stadium lights, but in a Swiss newspaper on a January Tuesday, written by a 27-year-old man who had been living as two completely different people for the better part of a decade, and was simply, finally, exhausted. Born October 28, 1993, in Bulak, Switzerland, Marco Lehmann built his athletic career as a professional 3x3 basketball player, the 3-on-3 half-court format recognized by FIBA and included in the Olympic program since Tokyo 2020. He ranked among the top 63 players globally in the discipline, represented Switzerland on the FIBA 3x3 World Tour, and was the top scorer in the Swiss National League A during both the 2016-17 and 2017-18 seasons. He helped Switzerland reach the FIBA 3x3 World Tour Finals in Beijing and qualify for the European Championships. Off the court, he was leading a parallel existence. His boyfriend would drive him to the airport each week. The moment he cleared security, the relationship vanished, and a carefully maintained professional persona replaced it. Coaches who screamed at teams for playing like gays. Teammates who called homosexuality a sickness. Lehmann absorbed all of it in silence until late 2019, when his psychological reserves collapsed completely in what he later described as a full mental breakdown. Inspired by Swiss wrestling champion Kurtin Orlick's disclosure in 2020, Lehmann published his story through the Tagesanzeiger and FIBA's official platform in January 2021. He became the first openly gay professional team sport athlete in Swiss history. Starting today, I will be Marco Lehmann, gay 3x3 basketball player. And if you'll excuse me, I'm trying to win the world tour. Still competing, still representing his country, now doing it whole. These 15 athletes, NBA giants, WNBA legends, and professionals from Argentina to Israel to Switzerland, share something that never appears in any stat sheet: the decision to stop hiding. Some paid professionally. Some nearly paid with their lives. Some waited until retirement to breathe freely. Others chose honesty while everything was still at stake. But here is the question nobody in professional sports has fully answered yet. If Jason Collins came out in 2013 and remains, in 2026, the only active NBA player to ever do so, what does that silence actually tell us? Is the league genuinely inclusive, or is the culture still quietly demanding a performance of identity that has nothing to do with basketball? The conversation is unfinished, and your voice belongs in it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if stories like these matter to you, subscribe to Hidden Celebrity Stories. We find the truths that mainstream sports coverage leaves behind,